as usual, whenever we have guests on a call to action, we try to talk to people and impart information to the community that's going to be helpful, particularly when we let the community know about various resources that are in the community. And I don't know why, maybe I do, but I think that the community would and could be a whole lot better off if in fact we did a better job, the whole community, not only the agencies, but the leaders and the politicians, everybody did a better job of letting the community know, the general community know, about the various resources that are available in the community to help uplift the community socially, economically, spiritually, and a whole other kind of ways. So I'm very, very happy today to have with me individuals from the Regional Commission, which has been around a long time and which does a phenomenal job on addressing many of the issues. A lot of people don't know it. And it's not because they haven't done a good job of accomplishing their mission, but somehow, maybe we aren't hungry enough or inquisitive enough to really try to find a resource whenever we find ourselves in a situation or position wherein a resource is needed. So I'm just so happy today, and listen very closely. Matter of fact, you might want to go to the kitchen to tell Grandma, to come on in and listen to this, because we've got some stuff, some information that will benefit her also. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and as I said, we have individuals from the Regional Commission in the person of Mr. Brent Lanford and Miss Julie Hill. And I'm just, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Let's begin by just taking a minute or two and just say a little something about yourself.
Sure. Well, I'm Brent Lanford, and I grew up in Macon. Went to school up at the University of Georgia, and then came back for my first and still job at the Regional Commission. As you said, we've been around for a while. In fact, we are celebrating our 50th year this year.
Wow.
So we started in 1965, and we've had various name changes throughout those years. Many, going way back, may remember us as the Area Planning and Development Commission.
Right.
Then the Georgia Planning Act was enacted around 1989, and we became the Regional Development Center, or RDC.
Right.
And now, since 2009, with the passage of House Bill 1216, we became the Regional Commission. And there are 12 regional commissions in the state. The one here is the Middle Georgia Regional Commission, and we serve 11 counties, including based here in Macon County.
Right.
So we're happy to serve and be a community resource, and we really appreciate you allowing us to come on the show and talk a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those resources.
Great.
Julie?
I'm Julie Hall, and I'm with the Middle Georgia Regional Commission. I've worked there, it will be 18 years come August. I grew up here in Macon, graduated from Southwest High School under Miss Gloria Washington. Wonderful principal. Wonderful. Graduated from Georgia College in Milledgeville with my bachelor's, and just recently completed my master's with Capella University. I am the Area Agency on Aging Director within the Regional Commission, and we actually coordinate and take care of and administrate the social services for older adults and people with disabilities in our 11 county region.
That's outstanding. Did I say Julie Hall?
Yeah.
Or did I call you Julie Hill?
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, we want to get your name right. We keep flowing with this show. Okay, now it's important for us that, there are just so many areas that that you all address, and I just kind of want to go through them, particularly the ones that's going to benefit, the citizens and the consumers. I know you all do a whole lot of things as it relates to economic development, which indirectly benefit the consumer. But let's talk about some of the programs, the general mission of the commission, and let's see if we can talk about some of it, because I was really in awe when I talked to Mr. Nix and Laurie about, some of the things that you all do. So
Sure.
you can go first.
All right. Well, you're correct. We feel like we have a lot of benefit to the community and the region at large. In fact, since we are a regional planning and development agency, we feel like we're a regional forum for, and our charge is to serve the cities and the counties. So we really exist and are enabled in the state legislation to serve the communities of Middle Georgia. Now, that being said, we have several program areas that do impact and benefit this in a human services manner, the citizens of the communities. Julie is head, she said earlier, of our Area Agency on Aging. It's a federally designated.
Now that's important.
Yes, sir.
You know, because, my wife mentioned the other day, say, these folk getting so old around here, so it's causing a lot of, notice I didn't say we, notice I didn't use the first person. But, I think it's important, that there are entities that address, situations and problems and resources that are available to the aged. So you want to talk about those services that are provided?
Sure. The Area Agency on Aging, we create a 4-year strategic plan for our region, for all 11 counties. We fund services, and more often than not, people know the services that we fund more than they know our name. Those services would be things like making bid Meals on Wheels, Help at Home, who does in-home services. They would be our senior centers, the Bibb County Senior Center. All of those services are funded and contracted and come through us.
Wow.
Along with that, we have an information and assistance database that we keep. There are over 3,500 resources in there for our local region, our 11 county region. There's
Okay, now
over
let me interrupt you. You
25,000
said
statewide.
so. It's possible, and no, and we realize that some seniors have some difficulty in navigating the internet, but most of these seniors got children and grandchildren. Some of them, not, don't write there and talk about I know how to operate the internet. I didn't say you did. I just said there are some who would need help. So talk a little bit more about that database and what are the kind of situations where one can go to find some help.
The resources that are kept in our database are for older adults and people with disabilities specifically. So it's not like opening up a telephone book. But there are resources like if you were to call and say, who is a Medicare home health provider? We could find you the Medicare home health providers in your region. Who could help me figure out a Medicare bill? We have someone on staff that can do that.
Wow.
Where could I go to get an adult daycare program? We can pull them open for you. There are adult daycares right here in Macon.
Wow.
All of those things are kept within our database.
So basically, any situation in which a senior finds him or herself, the best thing to do and the first thing to do, Brent, I teach in the prison system.
Yes.
Down at the halfway house. And one of the factors that I emphasize is the fact that oftentimes when people find themselves in situations, there are free resources available out in the community, but unless one knows about the resources and is willing to tap into it, then they might end up recidivating.
That's right.
And they get in a problem maybe because they are hungry or they are sick or can't find a job or what have you. Not realizing that whatever kind of situation in which you find yourself, then there is probably, Julie, a free resource out there to assist.
Anybody can call us at any time. One of our gateway counselors will get on the phone with them. They'll help them find the resources they're looking for. If it's not something that we fund or provide, it's still in there. We'll tell them where it is, who they need to talk to, if there's a cost associated with it that they need to expect that they would incur. Any of that we can discuss with them. And it doesn't cost anything to call us.
And I would like to add to that example that you just brought up. We also, we as in the Regional Commission, acquired the workforce investment area for Macon-Bibb County. And we have an excellent staff that works on preparing the workforce for being able to work and have industry and economic development built up so that we have a vibrant community with lower unemployment rates. And one of the things that our executive director, Ralph Nix, would like to focus on is helping to reduce the recidivism rate,
Right.
and working with those folks in society that would like to have a second chance and be able to re-enter society and be productive
Right.
and good citizens again.
Right. Now, does that also involve training and jobs? You know, I mean, the workforce investment.
It does.
You know, if say for example, one of these guys, gets out of jail and now work at the main center, and finding himself getting frustrated because maybe he doesn't have the right training or doesn't know the proper approach to getting a job. Well, can he utilize that workforce investment
Yes.
agency to assist with that?
We certainly would hope so. We would ask that they give us a call. And,
Right.
Our workforce director is Shanita Davis. She is outstanding.
I know Shanita.
And so we have several folks who work in that division who are trained to counsel people on employment options. And we definitely would like to, for the community to use that resource more.
Right. Now, do you still deal with laid off workers, like if a plant closes or something of
Yes.
that nature, and a person finds him or herself out of a job, do you still?
We certainly do. Boeing would be a recent example of where we got involved there. Absolutely.
You try to retrain those people and help them find jobs?
And we'll also work on behalf of the industry that's coming in to help screen and applicants and interview as well. So we do it on both sides.
Y'all busy.
We try to be.
Yeah. So now, I understand that there's a transportation element as it relates to seniors
Yes.
that's involved with one of you all. But first, this is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, all embedded in a conversation with Mr. Brent Lanford and Miss Julie Hall of the Regional Commission, who that plays an important role in the progress and the development of our community. So we're having a conversation, as we usually do on this show, about resources. Because I think as the community grows, we're doing the Black Pages this year, and we're going to talk about downtown development, and there are a lot of indicators that would show that the community is improving. But we all need to be very careful that the improvement doesn't stop until it gets low enough, to help other, more than just middle class folk and business folk. So, but there are resources, and that's why it's important to me, because we want to see, a rising tide raises the whole ship. So we want to make sure that people on the bottom deck, raise up when the tide gets higher. So that's why we talk a lot about the resources. So talk about transportation, if you would.
Well, actually, the transportation gets our older adults to and from our senior centers, but the regional commission, and Brent has more information on that, is actually the transportation provider.
So we have, that's correct. We coordinate, or administrate rather, coordinated transportation for the Department of Human Services. Region 6 is the service region that we serve. It coincides with the regional commission's counties, the member counties. And
Now you don't know them all by heart, do you? I hate to do that too.
sure do.
Okay, well let's say it, because there may be someone.
Well, that would be Macon County, Crawford County, Jones County, Peach County, Monroe County, Putnam County, Baldwin County, Houston County, Twiggs County, and Pulaski County, and Wilkinson County.
Let's buy this guy a coat.
I sure hope I didn't leave one out.
Well, they can call, and we got to be sure to get the number and the website. So that's an excellent resource. We're just having this lively fireside discussion, no pun intended, about the regional commission and all of the services that it offers to our community. And we got several more that we are going to talk about to make sure that you get the full gamut of the resources that are available through the commission. But let's do this now, and then we'll do it again at the end, just in case somebody has to leave the interview. Let's give some contact information.
Sure. Well, the Regional Commission has a website, and our website is www.middlegeorgiarc.org, and that's all spelled out, middlegeorgiarc.org.
Okay. And how about a phone number?
Our phone number is 478-751-6160.
Okay, and you've got a receptionist, so that will steer
That's
the
correct.
caller to whatever department that they need to be directed to. Now, I saw something reading the other day, something like MFP, and it's my understanding that that means money follows a person. Then I kept looking behind to see if I had any following me. But I guess that only applies to the commission. So what does that mean? You got this MFP program.
This is an outstanding program that Julie and her folks at the Area Agency on Aging administer, so I would like her to describe that in good detail.
The Money Follows Persons program actually came out of the Olmstead Act. It helps to bring clients from the nursing homes back into the community.
Wow.
When you have an older adult and they're placed in an institutional setting, most of the time their money ends up in the institutional setting because it's owed to them and Medicaid pays the difference. Well, when you want to leave an institutional setting, you need an apartment to go to. Apartments require upfront rent. You need utilities to be turned on. You need transportation to get you there. You need furnishings for your apartment. You need to know that your medicines are in place and your groceries are there. And you can't do those things without money. So with the Money Follows the Persons program, all of those setup costs are taken care of when they leave the nursing facility and enter the community. The transportation is taken care of to get them there. Their apartment is decided on, rented, set up for them. Now they will have to be able to continue their costs on a yearly basis, but transitioning out is a big deal because you don't have that upfront money to put out that most people would have went and paid their apartment with. And then the Money Follows Persons program follows them for an entire year. They have a transition plan. They have a case manager that's assigned to them to help them through difficult situations, and they actually have a budget for certain items that they might need within that year.
Wow.
To help them get set up and take care of their initial needs.
Well, I guess you better get extra help because your phone is going to ring off the hook. Because I know no child, very few in a way, wants to see his or her parent in a nursing home, unless it's absolutely necessary. And in many instances, finance is a major factor. So what you're telling me, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, if in fact this person has the capability of living in an apartment, being self-sufficient to a degree, and if in fact there's a scenario wherein this person is in a nursing home and would be qualified to transition, eligible to transition into their own place, then they could contact, your agency. And, that is absolutely phenomenal, and that's good information to know. Because I know that there are a lot of individuals who absolutely they don't have the space in their house. They don't have the money, to at least get their mother or grandmother started in that, in being self-sufficient in their own place. So that's absolutely phenomenal.
We've actually done very well with that program. Sure. Our 2 staff members that are dedicated to that program, they had a goal to reach 17 clients transitioned out because it takes quite a while to set up those plans and get people settled. They actually transitioned out last year 35. They were #1 in the state of Georgia for transitions out.
What called their names?
Celentria Kendrick and Sheila Milliken.
Okay, say that again.
It's Celentria Kendrick.
Celentria, that's what I didn't understand.
Yeah, and Sheila Milliken.
And Sheila Milliken. Well, we certainly want to congratulate them on their hard work and their efforts to get that program up and running. Well, how about this program for creativity, Brent, that you were
Yes.
telling me about?
I'd love to talk about that. One of the things that the Regional Commission did this past year was work with the Georgia Technology Authority, or GTA as we call it, to do a regional digital economy plan. And as you know, we do a lot of plans at the Commission because that's part of what we're charged to do. And we were looking at the infrastructure, broadband, access to these services, the disparity between the socioeconomic scale of who has access to internet services and who does not. And so we've issued a report, and it's available on our website. But one of the findings that we came up with was that there were these shops that were these places that were operating and opening up around the state of Georgia that were sort of like a physical place that you can go and have access to 3D printers, laser carving devices, lathes, computer terminals, even things like the creativity aspect of music and instruments. It's all designed to kind of work together in a confluence to spur innovation and creativity. There's this new movement called the maker movement, where people who like to invent and come up with ideas and innovate all can come collaborate and join together in this physical space and share these tools that they might not have access to individually. So a maker space is the name of what this concept is. It's the physical manifestation of the maker movement. And the College Hill Alliance, you are aware of, had done some survey groundwork about 2 years ago to determine, and they found that Macon is ripe for this maker movement. Well, along the same time, the Regional Commission was doing this report process for the digital economy, and we found that a makerspace didn't exist in Middle Georgia.
Wow.
So the Georgia Technology Authority provided some seed money in the amount of about $50,000 to kickstart this operation. So we got together stakeholders, and Rob Betzel of Infinity Network Solutions and a few other folks came together and formed Spark Macon, which is Middle Georgia's first makerspace. One of the things that we're proud of about the space in its first year of operation, and the Regional Commission is supporting this effort, is that we have instituted a K through 12 scholarship program where kids that want to focus on STEM or STEAM, even science, technology, engineering, education, engineering, math, and arts, can have access to these tools in this collaboration by way of a grant from the Georgia Technology Authority, and it's administered through the Regional Commission. So we connected with Geneva West at Real Impact. She runs a wonderful program to introduce STEM and STEAM concepts to young ladies, to young girls in the K through 12 arena. And so they are our scholarship recipients.
Wow.
At Spark Macon, and this is part of the downtown revitalization movement effort. So we welcome you to come by. Every first Friday there's an open house where you can drop by for free and check out Spark Macon and what it has to offer. It's at 557 Cherry Street.
Now that's important because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are creative and who want to try to invent some things or to do some things, or to make some music, or to be creative in one way or the other. And then I guess to find out who qualifies or whether that space in the program can accommodate them, then I think that they would need to maybe stop by. Is there a website? Is there anywhere they can find more information about
absolutely.
the client base and and the requirements and what have you about that program?
The website is www.sparkmacon.com.
Okay.
And that would have everything you need, all contact information.
So even if there is a nonprofit with kids or a group or a teacher or someone in the community who is interested in development and training and creativity, then there might be some element of that program that can benefit them.
Yes.
Well, what have we not talked about, Brent, Julie? Reverse mortgage help. Talk. What of you?
Sure.
Reverse mortgage is a program that the Middle Georgia Regional Commission operates. It is HUD counseling. We don't actually give out reverse mortgages. We do the HUD counseling for a reverse mortgage. Before anyone can get a reverse mortgage, you want them to know the real impact of it. What does it involve and what's going to happen to them? And you want it to be an unbiased counseling. You don't want it to be attached to the person who's going to finance the mortgage. So HUD actually funds reverse mortgage counseling through the National Council on Aging.
Now tell us real quick, a lot of people don't know what a reverse mortgage is.
A forward mortgage is where your traditional mortgage, you're living in the home and you're paying your mortgage payment every month. A reverse mortgage is for older adults specifically, and you're taking a mortgage against the house, but the payments aren't due unless you no longer live in the house for a 6-month period. And then the house can actually be sold to pay back the mortgage.
Right.
So as long as you live in the house, the mortgage payments aren't due.
So if I
You
got
still
a
have to pay
house
the taxes.
that's got some equity,
It's
I
usually
can
the
get a
equity.
reverse mortgage
That's
to get
right.
me some money and take vacations and buy me a car and live better, rather than let that equity just sit in that house.
Correct. Or
That's
you
right.
could use it to pay for caregivers if
Yeah.
you wanted in-home caregivers.
Right,
Yeah.
right. If
So
I'm
that
sick,
you
rather
can
than
stay in
just
your home longer.
going to a nursing home, then I can, do a reverse mortgage on my home, and then maybe I could pay for a caregiver. And then you got 30 seconds, Brent, to
Well,
wrap it up.
I would say we are at 175 Emory Highway. We're the Middle Georgia Regional Commission. We appreciate the opportunity to talk about our programs and services. We do offer so many more things. We are always welcome for folks to drop by and learn a little bit more about us. You can give us a call, you can check our website out, or you can just drop by the office at 175 Emory Highway.
Let's give that phone number again,
That's 478-751-6160.
and that website.
www.middlegeorgiarc.org.
And that SPA website.
And Spark Macon is www.sparkmacon.com.
Now, if you don't get on, you gotta call Brent, because he ain't got.
I'll be happy to talk.
Yeah, I know. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Mr. Brent Lanford and Miss Julie Hall of the Middle Georgia Regional Commission. And like I said, they just offer so many resources in this community. And if you know about them and you need help, then the three of us strongly encourage you to check out the Regional Commission, because they just might be the entity that can assist you with your problem, or your moving forward, or your creativity, or any other situation, your job, or your training, and what have you. So be sure to take advantage of it, and take advantage of the resources that are available in our community, so the whole community can be lifted. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com